We're speaking now to the education provider Taaleem. They're in our headlines because they've released the results for the first 9 months of their financial year, which dovetails with the educational year. 39% increase in net profit before tax. We're very pleased to be joined by the CEO, Alan Williamson. Alan, good morning.
Good morning, and just before I start, if I could say a massive best wishes to all of the education groups, schools across, parents, students across the UAE as we begin this summer. It's been a long academic year, and I wish them all a fantastic summer.
Well, you've already got a fantastic set of numbers to kick off your summer. The report card, Alan, is good. We've got revenue up 15%. This is the first 9 months of their financial year. We've got net profit before tax up by over a third. What's driven those numbers?
Yeah, enrolment, the growth of the UAE economy, the growth of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We're doing very, very well. It's a great report card. Our profits up, our EBITDA is up, our margins are up. We're very pleased to be opening new schools. We've got DBS Jumeirah on the Water Canal, and our strategy's on track, and that's been reflected in the numbers.
Let's have a look at that enrolment. Students up 32%. How much of that is like for like, and how much of that has come with the new schools?
Yes, 6 new government partnership schools, another affirmation of the UAE government, federal and Abu Dhabi and Dubai, in Taaleem delivering for the Emirati community. But year on year, really, we're going up about 1,000 students. And that's been driven by taking students from competition, but also the growth of the UAE population and new students coming into Dubai.
And you know we love to use you for a bit of proxy data and ask what you are seeing in terms of staying and going. How many are brand new?
Yeah, look, less and less students are leaving. We're seeing that in the property market. People are investing in the UAE and staying. But still 25% of these students are new to the country. I'm looking at some incredible data. Hamid Ali, the CEO of DFM, was talking at an investor conference about the amount of professional families arriving in Dubai and the UAE on a weekly basis, and it's really eye-watering. And we're seeing that in our schools. DBS Jumeirah, our brand new school, has over 500 students already enrolled. The best performance from a premium school in the last 3 to 4 years has been around 250 students. We've doubled it. And that's the reputation of the Dubai British School, 2 outstanding schools, the reputation of Taaleem. But I do believe, given the credit to the UAE as well, that it is the demand for school places. And we're now in a situation where, demand and supply is in a very interesting position.
We'll get to that in a second. I just want to ask you, those new students that are coming in, where are they coming from?
Yeah, that's interesting because previously, the last quarter results, we've been talking about the Russian community. We've been talking about China, and they're still coming into the UAE. But interestingly, in relation to today's big news, there's a lot of British coming into Dubai, and obviously the Dubai British schools are going to attract that demographic. But yeah, very interesting to see the British community coming up, and French as well. Our school, Jumeirah Baccalaureate School, is now 30% French, and that's a really interesting dynamic when you look at the politics of both of these countries.
What does the demand and supply equation look like at the moment? I mean, you're going to be adding nearly 2,500 new seats to your premium sector in the next academic year.
Yeah, actually, if you take the longer term for Taaleem, we'll be adding over 8,000 seats. But the market research is showing that there'll be 65,000 new young people coming into the UAE. And if you look at the other schools groups, if you look at GEMS, they're expanding as well. It's not just Taaleem. And we have a moral obligation in relation to the country we live in and the governments that we serve to put school seats into the community as the expat population and the Emirati population grows.
Let's talk about the UK from a number of angles. You've got the rights now to bring the British public school Harrow out here. What's the plans to establish the first one? Where and what time frame?
Yeah, we're really honoured to have Harrow. I mean, if you think of education in the world and you think of Oxford and Cambridge, you think of the big American schools, and you talk about Eton and Harrow, and therefore we're really honoured to bring Harrow to the GCC. We have the rights to all of the countries in the GCC. It is a fantastic school in the UAE and in the UK. Sorry, we spent months and indeed years engaging with a variety of schools groups, and chose Harrow. I have to be very careful. When you open a school in the UAE, you need regulatory permission, and we will continue to engage with the Abu Dhabi and Dubai regulators. Our target is to bring Harrow to the UAE and to open in 2026. And, Taaleem have always talked about profit, but we've also talked about education. And the unique selling point of Harrow, I think, will be groundbreaking in Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Right. Only a couple of minutes left with you, so let's do a bit of rapid fire. You're after regulation. You don't have it yet.
We're in the process of it, and it's a rigorous process, and credit to the KHDA and ADEC for putting all schools through that. As I said, our target is to bring Harrow to the UAE in 2026, and that is on track.
Will it have boarding?
That's an interesting question. We are investigating that, and we're discussing that with the regulator.
Post UAE, are you looking at Saudi?
We have the rights to Harrow in the GCC. We are engaging with Riyadh and the KSA government, and it's a very interesting proposition. Their target is 2030. And at the moment,
for the school,
for the big picture, and also for the school. But in relation to that, our focus at the moment has always been on the UAE, and the growth in the UAE is phenomenal.
This is your entry to the super premium sector. Fees in the UK, 78,000 dirhams a term for Harrow. What could they look like here?
Yeah, they won't quite be at that, but if you look at some of the competitors in the super premium sector, I mean, Taaleem's Dubai British School operates around 50,000-60,000 average fee. If you look at some of the competitors, they're up in the 80,000, 90,000s or above. To bring the quality of Harrow, the school design is incredible. The teachers, the leaders that's required to deliver a Harrow education, we will need our fees to be in that region.
Tom, you had a very quick question about UK private schools and tax, didn't you?
Labour landslide, obviously part of the manifesto, and 20% tax to private school fees. Concern about those in the private sector over in the UK. Could that, along with the non-dom, see more people searching for opportunities elsewhere, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The commitment is obviously direct to VAT. I think the big schools in the UK, I mean, I'm very involved still with friends who are in the independent sector. I think the big schools, the Etons, the Harrows, the Rugbys, the Westminsters will be fine. I think the impact of that taxation on the smaller independent schools may see a closure and a consolidation, TBC. But, what's really interesting, as I was saying to Brandy, is we are noticing more Brits coming to Dubai. And I think if there is a taxation culture, whether it's on the independent sector or capital gains tax, etc., then I think other people will join us, Tom, here in the UAE, and maybe even some Scots.
Alan Williamson, Taaleem CEO, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Pleasure.